Welcome to the Crazy Hat Chemist Cooks. So here we go with another awesome video. Today we're going to be making homemade tortillas. And then we're going to follow that up by making these tortillas with zucchini flowers and Oaxaca cheese. And oh my gosh, that is going to be oh so delicious. So here we go with our homemade tortillas. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to start off by getting about 227 milliliters, and that would be about 227 grams of water. We're going to take that, we're going to put that on our, in a pot on the stove. Of course, I'm a chemist, of course, I'm using a graduated cylinder for that process. That's filtered water, and so you need to make sure that you use good, clean, filtered water for this. Then the next thing that we want to do is we want to get some all-purpose organic flour. And we're going to get 300 grams of this all-purpose organic flour. So let's see if we can get 300 grams of that. It shouldn't take too long. So 300 grams of organic all-purpose flour. And we're going to put this in a bowl. Once we got all this in here, in a larger bowl than this one actually. So we're getting really close here, 296. All right, 300 grams of all-purpose flour. We're going to put that in this bowl right here. I have a towel underneath it so as to make sure that bowl keeps nice and warm and not too cool from this granite countertop. That's going to be critical in a little bit. All right, and then we're going to add to this 300 grams of organic flour 1 teaspoon of baking powder. So 1 teaspoon of baking powder, that's going to be right here. Perfect, 1 teaspoon baking powder in. And then what we're going to add is 1/2 teaspoon of salt. So 1/2 teaspoon of salt. That's going to be right here. Just like that. Boom. Right on inside there. Perfect. And then we're going to add 1/4 cup of organic olive oil. 1/4 cup of organic olive oil. Okay. And we're not going to quite add the organic olive oil yet. We're going to get this nice and ready. And we're going to check on the temperature of our water here first. Because the water that we put in the stove, we need to get that at about 38 degrees Celsius. So remember, 227 milliliters or 227 grams of water. We want that about 38 degrees Celsius. And that's about 100 degrees Fahrenheit. So we don't want this to be boiling, not even a rolling boil, but just at the point of boiling. So we're really, really close. So what we're going to do is we're going to add our olive oil to the flour, baking powder, salt mixture. And there we go on that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to mix this mixture here. All right? Little sip of coffee here, homemade coffee from my wife. All right, so we got this nice mixture right here. Hopefully you can see that. What we're going to do is dip our hands in here and mix this flour, salt, and baking powder olive oil mixture up. Okay? And this is what it's going to look like here. It's just really simple here. You just need one hand to do this. It's a small little batch. And just mix this up nice and thoroughly. It kind of clumps up in little tiny bits here, and then what we want to do is break up those clumps so we get that olive oil throughout the entire, nice, make it a homogeneous mixture here. A little bit of chemistry involved there, of course. Right? Nice homogeneous mixture. Gonna have to maybe look that up. All right. We're going to go check on our temperature of our water here in just a second. We've got too many cooks in the kitchen here, I think. A few people in the background. Just one, actually, my wife. Okay, so let's check on that temperature of that water. We were about 34 before, and now we're looking, oh my gosh, look at that. Perfect temperature of 38 degrees Celsius. Now what we're gonna do is we are not going to add all this water. We're gonna add some of it. The vast majority of it, and we're going to retain some of it just in case we need it. So we're going to use most of it in here, and we just want to get the dough in the right consistency. So what we're going to do is we're going to mix this up and see what this looks like. And I might have to add a little bit more flour, and that's okay. Nothing wrong with that. You always want to have just a little bit of extra water on hand. All right, it's a nice gooey mixture here. Get your hands all nice and dirty. And it looks like I didn't add all the water, but I certainly need to add some more flour to this. So let me add just a little bit more flour. All right, shucks here. Hold on just a second. I'm gonna have to open up my flour container. And there's my wife there looking to open up the flour container for me. Fantastic. Thank you very much. All right, perfect. We got the flour container opened up. We're going to reach our hands in there and grab a little bit more flour. We're always having a lot of fun here at the home when we bake and we cook. It's a family event. So here we go. At least for my wife and I. All right, so this is looking much better here. So look at this dough, how this looks. It's not crumbly, it's nice and soft. It's not too gooey. It's not really sticking to my hands very much anymore like it was. It was just that fine line between perfection and messing it up, right? Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take all these little bits and pieces off of us and mix this up here a little bit more. All right, just like that. And it's almost the consistency, if you remember playing with Play-Doh many years ago when you were a kid, it's almost the consistency of Play-Doh. It doesn't stick to your hands quite very well, but it is nice and soft. So to make sure it doesn't stick to your hands, you just add a little bit of flour on the outside to it. But you do want to, make it so it's nice and mixed completely. All right, so now what we're going to do, put this bowl off to the side. What we're going to do is we're going to take this dough here and we're going to divide it into approximately 10 pieces, okay? And we're going to flour our counter surface here, our surface, the counter. We're going to flour this up and we're going to divide this into 10 pieces approximately. So maybe this is about the size of maybe a golf ball, I would say. So size of a golf ball. And so maybe a little bit larger than a golf ball. And let's see how many we can come up with here. Kind of roll them around here like this. Beautiful. Too bad I don't have any trivia about tortillas. Maybe you could come up with some trivia and facts about tortillas. But I do say I love tortillas and I love quesadillas. So we're going to be making some delicious quesadillas here. And you have to get fresh flours at your farmer's market. And the fresh flours have to be edible flours, of course. And those fresh flours are going to be zucchini flours in our case here today. So it looks like I have, there we go, almost. All right, perfect. 10 little tiny small golf ball size pieces of dough. And what we're going to do is we're going to roll these up, place a little bit of flour on our surface here like we did, and then just place this dough, little dough balls right on top of the flour surface, and then what we're going to do is we're going to cover it up, and we're going to let it sit here covered for about 30 minutes, and then we're going to come back. So very simple, quick process here to make tortillas. Okay, so all right, so what we're going to do is we're going to cover these up, and then we're going to wait 30 minutes, and then we're going to see you in 30 minutes. So hold on just a second. Bingo. See you in 30 minutes. Okay, so that we've waited for our 30 minutes so that we can do our next step. So just to rekindle on the ingredients and what we're doing here. So number one, we're going to take 300 grams of organic all-purpose flour. Number one. Number two, we're going to take 1 teaspoon of baking powder. 1 teaspoon of baking powder. And then you're going to take 1/2 teaspoon of salt. 1/2 teaspoon of kosher salt, maybe. And then 1/4 cup of organic olive oil. 1/4 cup of organic olive oil. Then you're going to measure out 227 milliliters or 227 grams of filtered water. You're going to heat up that water to 38 degrees. You're going to mix all those ingredients together, and then you're going to have one nice consistent large ball of flour, etc. And then what we're going to do after that is we're going to have our rice cooker go off. That's what we're going to do. No, then after that, after you have that large bowl and ball of flour and dough, then what you're going to do is mix it up there until you have a consistency somewhat like Play-Doh. So it's not sticking to your hands, and it's not really too soft, and it's not too dry. Then what we're going to do is separate that out into about 10 round spherical golf ball size, approximately, balls. And what I have done is then you place it on a counter with flour on the counter. And I've made a second batch here for us. And so now we've waited for 30 minutes. After those 30 minutes, we're going to take our rolling pin. We're going to spread some flour out on our counter surface so it doesn't stick. And we're going to take one of those balls, and then we're going to roll it up into a roughly a round sphere, like a little tiny frisbee. So we're going to make a small frisbee with our rolling pin. It doesn't have to be perfect in regards to size or anything like that. If the dough starts to stick to the rolling pin, then all you have to do is add a little bit more flour. There's nothing wrong with that. And you can make it as thin or as thick as you would like. And so this is the point where you decide, how thick do I want my tortillas? How thin do I want my tortillas? And how large do I want my tortillas? So you could have decided actually to make these balls a little bit larger, to have larger tortillas, or to make them smaller for smaller tortillas. So now this is what we're going to have, is a size about that, like that. It's a little bit larger than my hand as I spread out my fingers, and that's what we're going to have. Now the other thing that we're going to do is we're going to take a frying pan, just a large frying pan here, and we're going to take this large frying pan and we're going to turn on the heat to medium. Okay, and then once we get that heat to medium, then what we're going to do is we're going to cook it. All right. Let's see if we can get this one started. Here we go. Perfect. So we're going to heat up this frying pan here, and then we're going to heat that up. Yeah, we're going to turn this down just a little bit here because we're cooking too many things here today. We're doing some potatoes and chicken and whatnot also. So we have this one flour tortilla. Now we're going to go for this next flour tortilla and roll that out while our frying pan gets nice and warm. So again, really take your rolling pin and roll it out however thick or thin you would like it. It's entirely up to you at this point in time. But if you try to roll it back and forth, you'll get nice round tortillas. Remember to turn it around if you need to. Add some more flour if needed, if your rolling pin is sticking. And then you don't have to add anything to the frying pan. So no oil is necessary whatsoever. And then what we do is we just stick this tortilla right down here on the frying pan. And we're going to let that cook. All right. So while that cooks, we're going to roll out some more small little doughs here, so that we get some nice tortillas that we're ready to go for the next one. And again, I made small ones, I made large ones. Really is dependent on what you are looking for and what kind of usage you're using for your tortillas. So there's another one right there. A little bit smaller than hand size, but that's okay. So let's roll out a couple more of these, and then we'll go and check on our tortilla that's cooking in that pan right there. What we want to do is we want to cook those tortillas so that we get some nice bubbles. Apparently the bubbles are the key. I've talked to the people that know, and they say you got to get the bubbles. The bubbles are the key to the whole tortilla cooking process. So since this is the first tortilla, we're just letting that cook a little bit more here. We're not quite done with that. So we're going to roll out some more of these tortilla balls, and we'll get some nice tortillas ready here. Here we go. Roughly round pieces here. Doesn't have to be perfectly round. Okay, let's see how this is coming along. Not quite. Got to keep on heating this up here. We're going to crank it up to the medium high. Yeah. These are going to be delicious. These tortillas taste best when they're nice and warm, and those are the best of the best, right? So we're just going to wait here until this bubbles up a little bit, and that takes a little bit of time. I have a nice spatula here. I can flip it if I need to, and we're just starting to get some of those bubbles right on the surface of the tortilla right now. So just a couple of bubbles, and I'm going to let that bubble up some more, get those bubbles a little bit larger, let them go, let them grow, if you will, okay, and we can roll out another tortilla in the meantime here. So you notice that you're just multitasking this whole time. Okay. I'm hoping if you're liking this video, you should watch some of my other cooking videos, and then if you actually want to know anything about chemistry, then, you know, here's a little selfless advertisement. You should watch my chemistry videos. They're actually excellent. They're instructional chemistry videos. You will learn chemistry such that you can know what you're doing before you get to college. So you have a strong foundation. All right, so I got some bubbles on this. I'm going to turn this around, and let's see if we can heat this up some more. It's looking pretty good here. The first tortilla takes just a little bit more time here than the others, but not a problem. Here's another thing that you can do is send in the comments what other cooking you want me to do, and yeah, what other kinds of cooking recipes you would like to know about. So send me that in the comments, and let's see if we can do those other items here. Okay. Another little self-advertisement here. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel. Give me a thumbs up. That would be fantastic as well. And yes, of course, I am wearing a hat today. Can't be the crazy hat chemist without wearing a hat. All right, now we're starting to get some more bubbles here. It's looking really good here. I can't wait to give this a try. I'm sure it's going to be delicious. All right, fantastic. So I'm going to set this off to the side just a moment here. I'm going to start another tortilla in the pan. The second one and the third one and all the other future ones won't take that much longer, but check out this tortilla. Whew, super hot. But check that out. Doesn't that look delicious? Doesn't that look delicious? It's actually super hot, but we're going to give it a try if we can. That is most definitely delicious. You gotta try this. It's a super quick, fast recipe, and anybody can do it, even you. Even a non-chemist can do this. So, another video to watch in just a moment here. So finish this one up. You need to make sure that you know how to do the tortillas and make those, and then you're gonna watch the next video to tie it all together so that you can make quesadillas. All right, so I'm gonna see you for next time. I am the Crazy Hat Chemist signing off until the next video that you watch. All right, have a great day and see you then. Bye now.